What's up, Brian Tong here. We've got the final official new Mac announcement from Apple with the new M4 MacBook Pro lineup. You got the new M4, the M4 Pro, and the introduction of the new M4 Max for the very first time. And this thing is ultimate power when you talk about the top of the line model. Now, there's no major physical redesign here, but spec bumps galore and a change to the 14-inch. So let's get into everything that you need to know about this. Now, we'll start with the base model M4 14-inch MacBook Pro. You'll now get the standard silver option color, but they decided not to hold out on us and give us a space black option. In fact, the entire M4 MacBook Pro lineup only comes in silver or space black now, no more space gray. Just like the M4 you've seen before it comes with a 10-core CPU and 10-core GPU. In their performance comparisons, Apple says their M4 is 1.8 times faster than the original M1 13-inch MacBook Pro, and 3D rendering scenes in Blender is 3.4 times faster. Really, the big physical change? The new M4 14-inch now has 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports instead of 2, and supports connecting up to 2 external displays alongside its built-in display. You'll also now have the option to get the nano texture display to get less reflections on the entire M4 MacBook Pro lineup. That is going to be a $100 upgrade if you want it. And the entry-level M4 14-inch MacBook Pro with 16 gigs of unified memory and a 512 gig hard drive starts at $1,599 before making any build-to-order options. All right, next up, the M4 Pro MacBook Pro for the 14-inch and 16-inch models. This brings an even more powerful processor with up to a 14-core CPU, that's 10 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores, and a 20-core GPU for improved graphics performance. So based on initial comparisons, Apple says the new M4 Pro is up to 3 times faster than the M1 Pro, and this is where we're starting to see big performance gains. Again, Apple is comparing this new M4 lineup to their equivalent chips from the original M1 lineup, so it's those users and Intel Mac owners that are really being targeted to make this upgrade. Now, let's talk about what I care about, and yeah, we're talking about the high end, the introduction of the new M4 Max chip. Apple decided to go beast mode with up to a 16-core CPU, which they claim has the world's fastest CPU core, and up to a freaking 40-core GPU that's twice the performance of the M4 Pro, and more than half a terabyte of memory bandwidth, so Apple Silicon just decided to go cray-cray here. Now, I have a fully loaded M1 Max MacBook Pro. That has been my workhorse for all these years, and Apple is directly looking at me with some of these comparisons. They say the M4 Max's CPU performance is 2.2 times faster than my M1 Max and 2.5 times faster than a PC with a Core Ultra 7 Series 2 chip. And then its GPU is up to 1.9 times faster than my current MacBook Pro and 4 times faster than a PC with the Core Ultra 7. Now, the media engine, this is what speaks directly to the work I do with 2 ProRes accelerators, and the media engine has really been Apple Silicon's secret sauce when it comes to content creation. And these numbers can sound very gaudy and alluring and big, and they are, but I always bring it back to the real world test because I'm gonna have to wait to test it out, review it for myself, but my experience with exporting out something like a 13-minute video project in both Adobe Premiere and Final Cut Pro from an M1 Max to last year's M3 Max, the difference was by less than 10 seconds, and that's just not enough for me to throw down a large amount of money on a fully loaded machine, and that's also why I still didn't upgrade. Those numbers that Apple says, they're true, but when it comes to real world tests, the things I actually do, that's why I still didn't upgrade. So it wasn't enough for me to make the move then based on how I use my MacBook Pro, but I would say for visual effects artists and 3D graphics, I think those industries are really getting bigger performance gains compared to video editing tasks. And that's why I keep on saying they made Apple Silicon too freaking good. Now, the M4 Pro and M4 Max models come with Thunderbolt 5, which gives you data transfer speeds up to 120 gigabits per second with the proper hardware. That's fast. And it supports up to 4 external displays. 4 displays for the M4 Max. Like how I did that? I did. But the biggest revelation, using the second generation 3nm technology with this new M4 chip family, the MacBook Pros can get up to 24 hours of battery life, which is the longest we have ever seen on a MacBook Pro, and this is pretty significant. You also have the XDR display. That gets an improvement where SDR content can now be shown at up to 1000 nits peak brightness. where it was 600 nits before. So this is great for outdoor use, and it will still hit 1600 nits peak brightness for HDR content. There's also a new 12 megapixel center stage camera, similar to what we saw in the new M4 iMac, and it also supports desk view for this over-the-top shot, but I will tell you, I wasn't really impressed. It wasn't the best out of the gates initially back then, so I hope it's improved this time around. And this might already be assumed, but yes, all these M4 MacBook Pros start with a minimum of 16 gigs of unified memory. M4 Pro models come with a minimum of 24 gigs unified memory, and M4 Max models come with a minimum of 36 gigs of unified memory. It also has the neural engine that's 3 times faster than the M1 for all these new MacBook Pros, so they support all of the Apple Intelligence features that we've showcased over the past few videos. I'm not going to keep on going over them, but the big thing, generative creation features like Genmojis for your own custom emojis and Image Playground for image creation, that's coming sometime later on, with that timing TBD. But the biggest sleeper announcement for me, it was just at the end, right? John Turnish just slipped in, hey, the current MacBook Airs with M2 and M3 chips inside will now come standard with 16 gigs of unified memory and keep the same starting price of $999 for the M2 13-inch MacBook Air and $1,099 for the M3 13-inch MacBook Air. Now let's get back to the new stuff. The new M4 14-inch MacBook Pro with M4 starts at $1,599, and then the new 16-inch MacBook Pro with the M4 Pro, that still starts at $2,499. You can pre-order today, and they will be available on November the 8th. Now, I like the improvements here. Yes, they are incremental, but they do make a difference. You know, I'm going to have to really see how this performs in the real world. I told you all about it before I make a decision on an upgrade or not. But at this moment, my M1 Max MacBook Pro is still so freaking good. I do think I'll probably stay put, but we'll see. Things can always change. All right, that's going to do it for this video, but you know what? We'll have plenty of more coverage here on the channel leading up to the launch of the entire new M4 Mac lineup that Apple announced, right? So we're talking about the Mac Mini that I want to see in person, the new M4 iMac, and then obviously the new MacBook Pros. So look, stick here, stay here. We'll see you on the next video because I've got somewhere to go. You'll see soon. All right, peace and love.